Hey, it's Kelly. I'm here to show you a super quick and easy way to finish off a pillow top. If you have any like straggling blocks, quilt blocks laying around that you don't really have a plan for and you want to practice or you want to make it into a pillow, this is a super easy way. I'm telling you, super easy and quick way to finish it off to make you a pillow. And this is what it looks like. It's an envelope closure, envelope backing, however you want to say it. But it's just 2 pieces of fabric. We're going to do it really simple. I promise you it's easy to do. And you don't have to do it with a binding like I used. I like to bind my pillows because I like this extra pop. I have another example. This was actually made for me in a swap that I participated in. And this is the back of it. As you can see, it has no binding. So if you're scared of binding or don't really know much about binding, you can do it like this, which I explained it in the video. But I like it because I can take the pillow out, take the actual pillow form out, wash the top, and be done with it. I don't have to worry about the stuffing getting like all clumpy and messed up and not as nice in the washer. So it's really easy though, and super quick actually. It just takes a few measurements, and I'll show you how to get your own measurements in the video. So if you want to learn how to make this, or how to finish off your pillows like this, I probably just covered up my mic, I'm sorry. If you want to learn how to finish up your pillows like this, just stay tuned to the video. I hope you really like it. Hit it with a thumbs up if you do. And if you have any questions, if anything wasn't clear whatsoever, please leave me comments down below. I love to get comments from you guys. I read them all. Even though I don't really get that many right now, but hopefully you guys will start leaving them for me. And just stay tuned to learn. We'll see you in just a minute. This is how you figure out your measurements that you need to cut your fabric for the envelope backing. You're going to take your pillow top that is ready to go. Mine's quilted and all that, and just as an extra little tip, I just use whatever fabric I have laying around. This happens to be some muslin because it's not going to be seen. It's going to be on the inside of the pillow, so it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to coordinate whatsoever. So you figure out your orientation for your pillow top, like what way you want the top to be or whatever. If it's square, like it doesn't really matter as much, but mine's a little bit rectangular, but whatever. So I'm going to have my envelope opening, like it's going to open up this way. I hope that makes sense. Like in hamburger fold, I guess. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold my pillow top in half, like a hamburger. Okay? And then I'm going to measure it. This one, it's measuring right at about 8.5 inches. So we're going to do a hem, so we have to account for that, which will add an extra 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch to be on the safe side for that. So that would put us at 9 1/4. Okay, then I always like to have an extra inch at least around my entire pillow to just account for any movement or shifting while I'm sewing the backing or the envelope backing on. So I ended up cutting mine about 11.5 inches, maybe 12 inches by, let's see, my pillow measures about 17 inches wide as well. I think I cut mine, I'm pretty sure I used about 19. So for a 17-inch square pillow, I cut mine at 19 wide by 12 long, or whichever way you want to look at that. I really hope that makes sense. If it does not, leave any questions down below. But once you get your fabric cut out, you'll need 2 pieces, the exact same length or measurements, length and width. I will meet you at the pressing board and we will get on with our next step. Now we're going to press for hemming. We need the wrong side of your backing fabric facing you. And then I use a piece of cardboard for my straight edge, and as you can tell, this is like my go-to cardboard. It's actually the back of a cereal box. I use it for templates and all kinds of other stuff, which we'll get into in another video. But this video, we're just going to use it as a guide, not necessarily a perfect guide, but a guide to get as straight as we can for our hem. So what we're going to do is just fold the fabric up about 1/4 of an inch, and you just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to fold, our first fold is going to be about 1/4 inch or so. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect, and press it into place. I just scoot it down once I'm done with this. So I'm going to scoot it down and line it up with the previous fold and just keep on pressing it about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just taking it and kind of rolling it up to where the previous raw edge is kind of like in the center of this, so it's completely encased. Okay, so once you have done that along the entire length of your piece, and we're going to do this to both pieces, we're going to hem both pieces so that we don't have a raw edge. It just makes it look neater. Take some pins, and we're going to make really small little pin bites, I guess you could say. I don't know if you can see that very well. Out of focus, of course. Just take a small pin, pin it all into place, and then I'll meet you at the sewing machine with our next step. So now we have to stitch this hem down into place. All that I do is I'm going to follow this edge. Well, you can't see that. I'm going to follow this edge right here with this part of my presser foot. It can be as close to this top as you want it to be. You don't want to get too far down here, like on this area, because then this might come open. You might not catch your first raw edge in. And the whole point of this is just to encase the raw edge. So you can see the stitches. Just stitch that down. And then I like to add another line of stitching just to make it look a little bit more professional and nice. It's just a little detail. You don't have to do it. It's just what I like to do. So I'm going to do that real quick. And when I do that is I'm going to follow my first line of stitching with the far edge right here of the presser foot. My line of stitching is going to go right under that. So let me stitch that down real quick. So you want to have something that looks similar to this. Or if you chose not to do the second line of stitching, which is all the way right here, you just have the line right here. So there are 2 different ways that you can choose to do this. You can do this with binding or without binding. There's only a little bit of difference between the two different choices. The only difference being, I'm going to use binding, so that's the way that I'm going to show you how to do it on this pillow. But if you didn't want to use binding and you just wanted it to be just simple turn out or turn right side out and be done with it, that is completely fine. You can do that. The way you do it is you would start with your pillow top facing up, your hemmed piece, one of the pieces of fabric facing down, you would line the hem up about where you want your backing to be, so almost centered. So something like this, you would pin it and then flip it over and stitch from this side about 1/4 inch, and then you would add the other piece same way, 1/4 inch seam, and then trim off excess, flip it right side out, and you'd be done. The way that I'm going to do it, I'm going to have binding because I like the way that it looks. So you start with your wrong side of your pillow facing up. I'm going to take the wrong side of my first backing piece facing down. So it doesn't matter to me which hem is on top, whether it be the bottom or the top. If it matters to you, whichever one you want to be on the top, put it down last. I hope that makes sense. So you're going to put right sides facing, or I'm sorry. Totally messed that one up. Wrong sides touching. You're going to line this up about where you want it, like where you want the closure to be. So about halfway down the pillow top, and make sure that you have, you know, a good amount on either side to allow for any shifting or anything like that. We're going to take our pins. Should have had everything ready. Sorry, guys. And we're just going to pin it down into place. Okay. Now, whenever I pin this, I kind of pin out here. Like out here. Not close to the edge, because I'm not sewing from this side. I'm sewing from the pillow top side. Just keep everything smooth. Okay, so we've got this back all pinned into place. The pins are out of our needle's way. Now what we're going to do is we're just pretty much basting this down until we get our binding on. So I start a little bit before the edge of my, you know, piece of fabric or envelope, backing, whichever you want to call it. I'm not going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm only going to use about, well, we'll say a very, very scant 1/4 inch seam allowance to an 1/8 inch seam allowance. So we're just going to start stitching. And we're stitching from the pillow top side, that because we have this excess to allow for shifting, we don't want to not baste it to the right spot. So I stitch up a little bit, and then I do back stitch, and then just go around the perimeter. When I get to this edge right here, I am going to back stitch to hold it into place. I've got this stitched down. Now I can remove these pins. I'm going to, all except for the couple that I've got down here holding this flap down, because I don't want this flap to come up and then something happen to it whenever I'm sewing the other piece of fabric on. So let me remove these real quick. Now we're going to repeat for the other piece of fabric. The only difference is whenever we put this one on, we're going to overlap it. I would say about 2 to 3 inches. It's your judge, your pillow, but at least 2 inches. A little bit more won't hurt. I would not go more than 3 inches in overlapping, because that just makes it harder to get the pillow down in there once it's, you know, once you're ready to put the pillow in. So let me get this pinned into place, and I'm going to stitch it down the exact same way that I did the previous step. And then I will be back. Okay, so once you've got both of your backing pieces attached, we are going to flip it over, have the pillow right side up, and we're just going to trim away the excess. And now all that's left is to attach your binding. So let me show you the back of this real quick before I attach my binding. As you can see, cute little envelope closure. So that was super easy, right? I knew you would think so. But if anything was unclear, please leave me a comment, questions, anything down below in the comment section, right down there. I will have the link to my blog, which I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do a step-by-step tutorial on my blog as well just yet on this. If you want to see the written instructions for it, leave it in the comments below and I will do that for you. But I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. You have no idea how much it means to me that you guys take the time out of your day to watch something or learn something from me. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free. Just hit the little subscribe button. I don't know how to do all the fancy editing yet to say subscribe right here. Eventually I'll get there though. Don't forget to follow me on social media to see what I'm up to. I am on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Flickr, and Facebook now, you guys. I got a Facebook page. Yay! And I will have the links to all that down below. So thanks for sticking around and watching the video. I hope that you understood it, that it helped you, and that you learned something new. And if you have any ideas or you want to learn any certain techniques or anything like that, please leave me some ideas and suggestions in the comment box. I would really appreciate it. I love to get comments from you guys and I will answer them. Might take me a little bit because I'm still figuring this whole thing out, but I will answer them. So yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. Yep, that's it. Nothing else. Don't forget to check out my blog and follow me on social media, and please subscribe and hit this video with a thumbs up if you liked it. I would really appreciate it. Share it across any social media network that you want to, because that would be just amazing. So I will be back very soon. I know that my videos have not been very consistent lately. That's because I'm having some issues learning how to edit. Honestly, I'll just be blunt with you. I can't edit. But, yeah. I hope that you really enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.